False news has become all too common on social media. Unfortunately, some members of the media push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Hello, beautiful people. We're here talking about something that Trump had just recently announced. Him utilizing the Impoundment Control Act, the ICA. It's big news because, admittedly, many other presidents have used it, but I don't think that they've used it to the extent that Trump is planning to. The man, he's going to go nuts with this thing and use it to be able to cut budgets in places that he thinks it's necessary to, which I really can't blame him either, because there has been a tremendous amount of expenditures that don't seem like they're required. For example, the Department of Defense is famous for paying for $10,000 toilet seat covers or $5,000 hammers. So these are expenses that have taken place before. Trump has made it very clear that he's not going to be attacking or this is not going to affect any Department of Defense programs. But I think he just wants to go after all the other departments that are just wasting money. So let's go over this and see what the man's got to say.
Biden, our disgraced president, has wasted trillions of taxpayer dollars in less than 3 years, causing uncontrolled inflation that is crushing working families. Reining in Biden's wasteful and unnecessary spending is vital to stopping inflation and rescuing our economy from ruin. But the pain of the spending cuts must be borne by the special interests and Washington bureaucrats, not by American families and American seniors in particular.
Yes, thank you. You know what? We poured tons and billions of dollars into this government of ours, and we really don't know where all the money goes. So I'm excited about this.
For 200 years under our system of government, it was undisputed that the president had the constitutional power to stop unnecessary spending through what is known as impoundment. Very simply, this meant that if Congress provided more funding than was needed to run the government, the president could refuse to waste the extra funds and instead return the money to the general treasury and maybe even lower your taxes, although we did give you the biggest tax reduction in history and the biggest regulation reduction in history, two things I'm very proud of. And they still are there, although they're disappearing rapidly under Biden. Thomas Jefferson famously used this power, as did many other presidents, until it was wrongfully curtailed by the Impoundment Control Act of 1974. Not a very good act. This disaster of a law is clearly unconstitutional, a blatant violation of the separation of powers. When I return to the White House, I will do everything I can to challenge the Impoundment Control Act in court and, if necessary, get Congress to overturn it. We will overturn it. I will then use the president's long-recognized impoundment power to squeeze the bloated federal bureaucracy for massive savings. This will be in the form of tax reductions for you. This will help quickly to stop inflation and slash the deficit. To prepare for this eventuality, on day one, I will order every federal agency to begin identifying large chunks of their budgets that can be saved through efficiencies and waste reduction using impoundment. Of course, this will not include national defense, and unlike Ron DeSanctimonious, who doesn't really know what's happening, I will not lay a finger on Medicare or Social Security. He wants to destroy Social Security and basically obliterate Medicare. These are benefits for our seniors. We are not going to touch it. There are many other things we can do. We're not going to let Ron DeSantis do anything to hurt Medicare or Social Security. On the contrary, some of the funds we save through impoundment from other parts of...
By the way, I got to mention, he is just calling Ron DeSantis out. He's just made it very clear as to what his stance is. And no doubt, DeSantis is just going to have to back down because there's no way he's going to fess up to wanting to touch Social Security or anything along those lines.
Of the government can be used to strengthen Medicare and Social Security for years to come. Reasserting the president's historic impoundment authority will also restore critical negotiating leverage with Congress to keep spending under control. Very simple. We're going to keep spending under control. We had it done, and then COVID came in, and we had to do some things to help save our country. We did a great job, but we were starting to make lots of money. We were energy independent. We were going to be energy dominant. We were going to be taking in massive amounts of money from the liquid gold that we have under our feet more than any other nation. And we were going to reduce.
You know, one thing about Trump and his speeches, you can tell when he is reading off the teleprompter, which is great, which is perfectly fine. But what's always interesting is when he deviates from his teleprompter. You can hear it in his tone. You can hear it in his projection that they are words that are coming from his heart. You know, no matter what the truth that he's just come off the tip of his tongue, off the top of his head, makes sense. So, you know, just as he has said, it's the party of common sense.
Taxes and pay off debt. This is the only way we will ever return a balanced budget. Impoundment. Just as importantly, bringing back impoundment will give us a crucial tool with which to obliterate the deep state, drain the swamp, and starve the warmongers, these people that want wars all over the place, killing. They love.
Only thing about that right now is that Trump has yet to step into office as the acting president, and peace is already taking over the world. You know, there have been so many countries, including Iran, that are coming to the negotiation tables to just stop everything before Trump steps in and stops them.
Of killing. And the globalists out of our government. We're going to get the warmongers and the globalists out of our government. With impoundment, we can simply choke off the money. This policy is anti-inflation, anti-swamp, anti-globalist, and it's pro-growth, pro-taxpayer, pro-American, and pro-freedom. I alone can get that done. I'll get it done, and I'll make America great again. Thank you very much.
Wow, those are big words. That is for sure. And of course, I did a little digging into what the history of the impoundment is. And it's quite interesting, but also clear as mud as to how much power Trump has with regards to this particular act. So he did mention in 1974 that there was an amendment to the act itself. Only thing is, though, in 1983, there was a Supreme Court ruling as to the fact that it was not required that both the House and Senate need to veto the act that the president has submitted for it to be vetoed. Basically, it requires a 2/3 majority rule to be able to pass. So now, as it stands, seems like the president's may just have this in his pocket. He has the Senate as a Republican majority, so because of that, he should be able to get whatever he throws their way passed. And here it is right now, the Control Act of 1974. And this is what he was referring to. And I will have the link to this site here in the comments below. And do me a favor, please like, share, and subscribe. Please help out the algorithms and my channel here. I'd love to hear your comments about this. I'd love for you to do some research too. Let me know your thoughts on it as to whether or not this is going to be able to pass with Trump's signature. because again, he has to put together a report, and he's going to do that with the help of Musk and also Vivek Ramaswamy, to be able to go through and see where the expenditures are taking place that are wasteful. And once he has this in place, he's going to present it to the House and the Senate, and they're going to either veto it or pass it. Again, with the president ruling to pass it, all he needs is either the House or the Senate to make it a law, or at least to actually get it to pass. So again, 2/3 ruling. I'm not quite sure how, this Control Act of 1974 works. I'll do a little more research and maybe follow up once he starts submitting ICAs. And you know what? Let's see what happens here, and let's see what Trump is able to do. And folks, again, please like, share, and subscribe. Looking to build this channel up, looking to be able to put out there good information for y'all. And thank you, and shoots.